This can go two ways, punk. One, you walk away. Two, I walk on your face. Huh?
All right, losers. So over the last week, a bunch of people have asked me where this Shaggy is powerful meme came from. And by a lot of people, I mean about 3. And by this Shaggy is powerful meme, I mean one such as this. And I thought it might be interesting to kind of track this meme through its history, because the history is probably not what you think unless you're on Reddit a lot or you like Dragon Ball and Naruto and Scooby-Doo. There's this weird Venn diagram of memes coming together to make what is now maybe the weirdest January meme we've gotten. So there are some people out there that think that this is a January meme, which means that it is usually worse than the rest of the year. Looking at you, Jax Films.
I don't know where this came from. This is just more proof that January memes are fucking trash.
That is actually not the case. Believe it or not, this meme is more than a year old. Who would have thunk? Probably people who, like I said, like Dragon Ball Z and Scooby-Doo, that dumb Venn diagram, would know that this originated in October of 2017. That's stupid, isn't it? So in order to look at this meme, we have to go way back to the beginning of Dragon Ball and the whole Dragon Ball series. So if you don't know anything about Dragon Ball, what you need to know is that there are the main characters like Goku and Vegeta, that was in Dragon Ball Z, that are very powerful. They're aliens from another world, they're very powerful. But then someone else even more powerful shows up. So through friendship and lots of screaming, they always find a way to overpower that person that's more powerful than them. Before, it was just like martial arts training in Dragon Ball. And then when we got Dragon Ball Z, we got stuff like Kaioken, Super Saiyan, which is where the hair goes yellow. We got Super Saiyan 2, which is basically the same thing. Super Saiyan 3, and that was Dragon Ball Z. Basically stopped there. There were a few other things here and there. By and large, that's where the one-upping ended. And Dragon Ball Z ended a long time ago. It reached a sort of logical conclusion until a canonical successor to Dragon Ball Z arrived in 2015 with Dragon Ball Super. So the important thing here is that the god of destruction came down and was going to destroy the Earth, and Goku and Vegeta had to stop him. So they discover what is called Super Saiyan God, and their hair turns all red and they get all sexy or whatever. Then we got Blue somewhere in there, and this was all leading up to the Tournament of Power. It's kind of where all of this comes to a head, is where the most powerful beings from all of the universes in the multiverse were coming together into this tournament, and whoever lost, their universe was eliminated, so there would only be one universe left at the end of it. As they were training, Goku's son, Gohan, was like, I've been out of the game for a long time, I'm going to get back in this. But they noticed he wasn't going Super Saiyan. And they're like, what's wrong with you? And he's like, I have a different idea for training. No longer going Super Saiyan. I'm doing this. And he goes, and he turns white. He goes Gohan White, which eventually became its own meme called Gohan Blanco. That's important because people started to make tiers of the Dragon Ball Super characters and where they stacked up against each other. There was Z all the way up to S rank or something like that. And they placed Gohan Blanco either as a joke or serious, I don't know. They placed it at the very top. And that was on 4chan or something like that. About a month later, after we got Gohan Blanco, we were introduced to this thing called Ultra Instinct. Goku went Ultra Instinct, which meant that his body was just so finely attuned to everything that he no longer had to think about his actions. He no longer hesitated, and he was like the perfect fighting machine, or at the time, about half of the perfect fighting machine. So it didn't take long after that. It took like a week. And somebody made this video where they took Shaggy, a clip of him kicking ass from the movie Scooby-Doo, The Legend of the Phantasaur, and they put the UI theme song under it. which like we didn't even really know what Ultra Instinct was at the time. Like everyone's like, oh my god, is that a thing, blah blah blah. So it was very funny, and it spawned a lot of memes. Like a week after that, someone on DeviantArt made this beautiful fan art of Ultra Instinct Shaggy. The video and the picture started popping up on multiple subreddits. I think it was on like Two Best Friends Play, which I don't frequent, but it was also on Scooby-Doo and Scooby-Doo memes, those kinds of subreddits. So the reason that the tier lists were important was because some jokester took Shaggy in his green shirt and his red shirt, put him in like an S rank on those tier lists, and then they took Ultra Instinct Shaggy and put him at like rank SSSSS or something, like above gods. His power was infinite plus one. He was more powerful than the creator of all of the universes. Some other characters got that treatment. Rolf from Ed, Edd n Eddy got that treatment, but Shaggy was the best. And that meme stuck around for a month, maybe. The meme stayed dormant for over a year, from probably December 2017 to January 2019. January brought us a lot of really weird memes. I've seen a lot of anti-vax memes lately. I've seen those dumb ones where it's got the Switch card from Uno. Big Chungus is probably one of the better ones. But we also got, it didn't get a lot of attention because of the things that came after it, but there was this Sasuke meme. And the joke here was that Sasuke from Naruto was pinned up against a wall by another character who says, "How dare you make me use 10% of my power?" And some genius, I wish I knew who you were, took Shaggy, and I'm sure like some memory was dislodged from his brain where he's like, oh, remember a year ago when we made Shaggy, Ultra Instinct Shaggy, a god among men? They made this image. Shaggy has Sasuke pinned up against the wall, and he says, like, how dare you make me use 10% of my power, or whatever he says. I can't remember. And I think that meme must have dislodged a lot of people's memories, because after that we saw all kinds of people going back to the Shaggy using whatever percent of his power memes just started popping up all over the place. And over on the subreddit Scooby-Doo memes, which initially I didn't want to sub to because it was garbage until last month, someone took like the behind the scenes footage from the live action Scooby-Doo movies of Matthew Lillard in costume talking about like absorbing the power of Shaggy, or like trying to contain the power of Shaggy. That became the meme template. And the first one I remember seeing was him saying the audition process for Shaggy was crazy. You had to show up in costume, and I'm the only one that survived, which is why I got the part. So then that kind of spiraled into its own thing, and then people started taking like Freddie Prinze Jr. or Linda Cardellini in costume and saying like we could only film for 5 seconds at a time, otherwise like our brains would start to disintegrate or something like that. And that brings us to today, where Shaggy is an uncontrollable beast, and like it or not, that's where the meme is today. Personally, I have no idea where I sit on this matter, because I love Shaggy, and it's just it's so stupid. I don't know. I got to embrace it. What do you think of the Shaggy meme? I'm interested to know. What's your favorite one? My favorite ones are when they're way too specific on something. That's all I got for now. So until next time, which is never, stay in drugs, don't do school.